Hey guys, so today we're making some turkey lasagna. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started with the recipe. So I'm going to start by chopping up some bell peppers as well as some onions. You can use as much or as little as you want. And so I'm using a red and a yellow bell pepper, and then I'm going to chop up one medium-sized yellow onion. I'm also going to chop up a few garlic cloves. And so traditionally, my family, at least in the past, we've always done lasagna for like Christmas. Um, but this year, I think we're gonna do a seafood boil. But anyway, I thought, I'd share this recipe in case there is anyone out there who would like to make a lasagna for the upcoming holidays. And so after I have all of my veggies chopped, I am going to start browning my ground turkey. So I'm using 1 pound of lean ground turkey, and then I'm going to use 2 packages of this turkey Italian sausage, and I'm just going to cook this until it is nice and crispy. And so next I'm going to season it with some garlic salt. Of course, you can use whatever seasonings you want. I don't care what seasonings you use. Just make sure your food is not bland, because we don't want no bland food, y'all. So I put in some complete seasoning or any all-purpose seasoning you have, and then I'm adding in some garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper. Again, whatever seasonings you want. Just make sure your food tastes good to you. And so I'm just going to cook this until it is nice and brown. Next, I'm going to add in my onions and bell peppers, and then I'm going to cook this down a little bit more. As you can see, it was quite a bit of like liquid in there. So with turkey, I like to cook it until a lot of that liquid has absorbed. And then I'm going to add in my chopped garlic and just continue to cook this. And then I'm going to add in a few squirts of tomato paste, and of course I ran out, but that's okay. I'm going to add this, and then I'm going to stir that until everything is nice and combined. And then after that, I'm going to add in 1 can of some diced tomatoes. Now this part is totally optional. I like to add in the diced tomatoes just for some additional texture, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then I'm just gonna add in my favorite pasta sauce, which is Prego. It was in the freezer, so I just defrosted it a little bit, and I'm gonna add this in there. But of course, you can make your own pasta sauce if you want to. And then I'm gonna add in some parsley flakes as well as some Italian seasoning. And then I'm just gonna continue to stir this until the meat and everything is nice and combined. And of course, you can't forget the sugar. I don't care what nobody say, you got to add in a little bit of sugar just to balance out the flavor with those tomatoes. And so I'm just going to let this simmer until it is nice nice and hot, I guess. And you can simmer it on low for quite a while if you want to. And then I just added in a little bit of some accent, or MSG, just for added flavor. And so while my sauce continues to simmer on the stove, I am gonna shred up 1 pound of mozzarella cheese. You can use whatever cheese you prefer. And then I'm also gonna use some ricotta cheese. Now, I really only just needed one of these containers, but I am going to do two because I used a little bit more, and I'm going to make a separate like lasagna dish for myself. And so I'm just adding in the ricotta cheese, and then I'm going to add in 2 eggs. Is 1 egg per like little small container of ricotta cheese. And then I'm going to season this mixture with some garlic pepper, some parsley flakes, and then I'm just going to stir this until it is nice and combined. And then I'm going to put that to the side while I cook my pasta. And so I have my water nice and boiled. I put some salt in there, and then I'm going to boil my lasagna noodles for about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to take them out and rinse them under cold water just to stop the cooking process. And yes, of course, you can use the the lasagna noodles that you don't have to pre-cook. I've never used those actually, and maybe I'll be adventurous and do that one day, but today was not that day. And so I sprayed my pan with some nonstick cooking spray, and then I put a little bit of the sauce on the bottom, and then I'm just gonna layer my noodles on the bottom, and then I'm gonna add in my ricotta cheese, some of my ricotta cheese mixture, and I'm just gonna spread that along the lasagna noodles. I know there are some people who don't like ricotta cheese. You can use cottage cheese if you want. Okay, it's added protein, but I don't want no cottage cheese because I don't like cottage cheese. I've been there, done that, and I don't want to see no more cottage cheese. And so I put in my meat sauce, and then I'm going to top it with some of my mozzarella. You can use mozzarella and provolone. You could add some Parmesan cheese if you want to. It's really whatever kind of cheese you want, okay? And so I'm going to add another layer of the noodles, and then I'm going to repeat the same steps with the ricotta, the meat sauce, and the cheese. And so I was only able to get 2 layers in this specific pan, but it'll look better if I had a bigger pan to do another layer, maybe at least 3 layers, but that's okay. So I'm topping it off with the remainder of my cheese, and then I'm going to sprinkle some parsley flakes on there, and then I'm going to bake this in a 375-degree oven for about 45 to 50 minutes, or until it's nice and brown on the top. I did not cover it, and so I let it cool for about 10 to 15 minutes because that'll make it easier to cut. And I'm cutting it into some pretty big pieces, and then I'm just going to plate this up, and you can serve this with some garlic bread, some salad, whatever you want. You can add extra sauce to this if you want, but I had to make my sauce stretch for my other dishes. I also made a vegan or a dairy-free lasagna. I won't say vegan, a dairy-free lasagna, and then I made my own little lasagna cups with some palmini, which you'll see here in a little bit. And so this is what I'm eating because the lasagna noodles would be too heavy for me. So I found this palmini lasagna noodles or sheets in my local grocery store. And so this is a great option for those of you who are looking for something low carb, or something a little more health conscious, I should say. And so the instructions say to rinse it off. You can boil it first if you want to, but I chose not to because I didn't know how soft it would get, and I didn't want to risk it being too mushy after I put it in the oven. So I simply just rinsed mine off, and then I'm going to spray my muffin tin with some, I can't believe it's not butter, and then I'm just using 2 of those lasagna sheets, and I'm going to add in my ricotta mixture. Of course, if you want additional protein, you will swap the ricotta for some cottage cheese. And then I measured out about 2 ounces of my meat sauce, and I'm going to put that on there. I ran out of mozzarella cheese, so I ended up just using some Colby Jack cheese on top, and I baked this in the oven for about 20 minutes or so, just until the cheese was melted and brown. I will say I wish I had done like just a flat pan, because it didn't come out like I wanted it to, because there was a lot of moisture or liquid from the palmini, and so getting it out of there didn't work. So I would suggest like a flat pan. But I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. The noodles, the palmini noodles, were good. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. I truly appreciate the support. See you next time. Bye.